back to the unofficial review. I'm Seeds, and this is my football review. Today I want to be talking about Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. It's one of those things where, again, we've seen quite a few weeks this year where Aaron Rodgers and the Packers just haven't looked themselves. And again, this is more or less just kind of me. I've observed them. I'm trying to figure out why they're not playing as well, because that's my big thing too. Is, like I said, I'm looking for the why, because you see the media's coverage of it all, and they're talking about how he's not playing the same, or he's missing wide open guys, or whatever. But they don't look for the why. They just say, well, this has happened consistently or whatever, and so it's something to be worried about. And I'd be concerned. I'd be looking out the problem or whatever. But I don't think it's as bad as they're making it sound to be. I mean, I think the Packers need to be realistic with their expectations on the year, just because just where you're sitting and the way the Minnesota Vikings are playing, it's not realistic to think that you'll be winning the division. I mean, it's still young. I'd probably give it another 3-4 weeks before you really get to figure out who's going to probably be controlling divisions. And some divisions, they wait to the very end, which honestly, those are the most exciting. But that's the thing, is the Packers need to be realistic what their expectations are coming into the rest of this year. But yeah, that's just one of those things where, I mean, frankly, I think that there's a handful of things that are ailing the Packers. But I'm just going to start off top of the bat, and I'll just start with Aaron Rodgers himself. It's just one of those things where people have bad times. I mean, it's one of those things where I honestly think that the Jordy Nelson thing, him being out last year, and everyone, or at least it seemed like a lot of Packers and Packers fans were saying that the reason they were producing and the reason Rodgers wasn't doing as well and that the Packers weren't doing as well is because Jordy Nelson wasn't there. Which, I mean, you remove him, you see their decline, and it makes sense. But that's my big thing, was that to me, it's not that. I mean, obviously he took a lot of pressure off of Cobb and off of Adams. But the thing was it kind of seemed like they told themselves they weren't going to do as well without him, and so they didn't do as well without him. It was kind of the same thing last year when Romo went out with the Cowboys. Was everyone said, "Oh crap, we're just gonna," the Cowboys kept saying they're not going to win until they get Romo back. And what do you know? I mean, I'm sorry, but with that best offensive line, you should be able to be competitive. It's one of those things where that's the thing, is it seems like where people's mind is at is a lot of what they're going to do. It's one of those things where a principle I like to believe in is that you're never going to win a game telling yourself you're going to lose. So that's the same thing I would say to the Packers. You're never going to win a game. You're never going to get into your rhythm if you tell yourself you're going to lose without Jordy Nelson or whoever. It's one of those things where, I think the only person that's that they cannot replace, because, and I'll get further into it, but the one person they can't not go without is Aaron Rodgers. As much as he has not played well, he is by far their cornerstone. And so that's the thing, was, like I said, so they're telling themselves, oh, we got Jordy Nelson back, we're going to win. So when it isn't easy, when it's not just them cracking up points, they're kind of taken back. They're like, well, maybe we aren't that good. Maybe. So it's just one of those things where I think that them telling them that Jordy Nelson was suddenly going to make them this explosive thing, was like they didn't put in the work. It's one of those things where, like I said, so many times you'll see a match coming up where we're expecting something and it's complete opposite. And a lot of times I feel like it's because the team that didn't show up, like I said, they thought that they had it, so they didn't put in the work to get it. That, like I said, go back to Carolina's Super Bowl. I think that's what it was they expected to do it, so it didn't happen. So I would say the same thing with Packers. Is right now they just need to focus on the work, on the key principles of being disciplined, of competing. And so again too, and that comes to my next part of why the Packers are struggling, and I think why Aaron Rodgers is struggling, is that they don't have a lot of help. It's not that they don't have anybody other than Aaron Rodgers, but you got to look at the teams that are competing right now, and they have stacked teams. And you look at Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, and I think Dak's adequate. I don't think he's, everyone's talking about how he's freaking amazing, and it's like, well, you got the best offensive line in the NFL, you've got the leading rusher behind the best offensive line in the NFL, and nobody really expected you to do shit without Romo. So again, there was no pressure for you guys to do anything. And I'm not going to take away from what you accomplished, but again, my big thing is, why did you accomplish it? So that's what I would say, is I think Aaron Rodgers has got a solid offensive line, but like I said, when I've noticed some passes that he's missed, and I noticed some catches that the receivers aren't catching that they should and such, like I said, it's kind of like they're phoning it in. It's that concept of why a lot of wide receivers drop balls. That when they're wide open and what have you, is that they turn to look upfield rather than making the catch and going, all right, now I turn upfield. They're getting ahead of themselves. They're trying to run before they can walk, and so that's what they need to do. Is right now they need to slow themselves down, and it's just like, hey, focus on getting a first down. Hey, focus on making a completion. You don't have to win it in one drive. You don't have to feel like if you don't put up 35 points in the first half that you're not meeting expectations. And like I said, it's failure begets failure. To me, that's what's going on right now. It's a culmination of all that. It's lack of help. It's a lack of focus. It's frustrated with the fact that they're not getting things done, so they're overthinking things and they're really getting in their head. Again, too, you look at the social media coverage and the overhype that the NFL loves or the media, the NFL network and what have you, shows like that loves to build up stories and make things so dramatic, and it's just like, shit happens. Like I said, even the current NFL's favorite boy, Tom Brady, has played like shit at times. So it's one of those things where, no one's above reproach. These guys just need to work on keeping sharp and not phone things in. The reason you've succeeded so well is because you put in the work. Like I said, this is the same Aaron Rodgers that threw one of the most impressive touchdown passes week 1 of this year. So the talent's there, but like I said, he just needs to focus and needs to calm himself down, just slow down and just focus on. So coming into the night, you're playing the Bears. The Bears have played like crap. Their defense isn't half bad, but in order for the Bears to win tonight, they would have to, again, just don't play into the Packers' hand, play smart, just let them make the mistakes. But like I said, if the Packers want to win, like I said, you look at, to me, you look at the scope of the entire team, and you look at the scope of the Bears, and you look at the scope of Green Bay, and I don't think that the Bears have any more talent than Green Bay as far as across the board. And then you go to the most crucial, valuable positions, and that's the quarterback. Hoyer's not anywhere. I don't care what the statistics say. Hoyer's not a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. That's retarded. So that's the thing, is that Aaron Rodgers needs to calm himself down and just make a completion. Don't force anything. Just stick to your guns, stick to your gut. Don't overthink anything. And that's, just so many times it almost kind of seems like I said, that people aren't living up to expectations, and so they're looking at, worst thing Aaron Rodgers could do right now is look at the stupid statistics people are throwing him out. Look at the quarterback rating and such, the all-time low. Don't think about that. It's just one of those things where he's got the talent. It just means he needs to be, where's your mind at? And his mind just needs to be on the field, on the game, on the first down, making the completion, just making the smart play. That's really where his mind needs to be at. It doesn't need to be thinking about the stupid things that people are talking about right now. I think they should be fine. Now, like I said, on the year, right now they got to be hoping and praying for a wild card spot. I think that's really where their expectations need to be. I don't think that they need to be getting ahead of themselves, thinking about first seed, second seed, division winners, or anything. Like I said in the past, that's one thing that the teams need to realize is you need to have goals. You need to have goals that are obviously beyond just kind of passive. It's one of those things where if you're 4-4, your goal should be 8-8 and to at least cut even and not lose ground. It should be above. It should be exceeding what you've already done, but it needs to be realistic. So like I'm saying, at this point, I think that they need to be realistic and hope for a wild card spot, and not really worry too much about anything else. But as of tonight, they need to be focused on the Bears and focused on winning that game, and I think that they totally could do it, and they should win. Again, it's just more or less that they try to force things. If Aaron Rodgers is still in his head and they're just kind of just not focused on the task at hand, that's where I could see the Bears winning. But if Aaron Rodgers plays how he should, if he just lets all the talking go to the side and just does what he needs to do, as you've seen other great quarterbacks who have failed time and again. And in fact, one of the guys, and that's kind of like I said, it's where you're, and that's one of the things that I think too is an opportunity for Aaron Rodgers is, hey, this is the lowest quarterback rating you've had in your career. Now, if you get going and you increase that or whatever, if you improve dramatically to what you can do, that'll just show that you can step up to adversity. You can step up to the fact that you're not giving yourself a good position. You've got every reason to kind of, not say wash the year, but just kind of just throw in the towel and find discouragement with that. But to me, like I said, I think a guy's true character is shown when he's knocked down. Like I said, it's easy to smile and do well and just have this great outlook on life when you're winning. But when you fall, when you lose, to me, that's when your true character comes out. So I like to see Aaron Rodgers' true character come out. And like that true character to be somebody of humility and good work ethic. Because like I said, if he got some humility, he's got some good work ethic, he's got the talent. So he's going to win if he focuses on those. But yeah, we'll be talking soon. There's lots more to talk about. Talking to you soon. Bye.